Hello guys, welcome back. In this video I would like to show you a quick demonstration on how to do digital painting quickly with the tools available, and this painting would generally end up in few minutes. That's it. And it would be generally useful for beginners who are into digital painting and all that. So I've got this layer, and we got the background on. So I create a new layer here and then select the marquee selection tool and then put that up to the half to actually divide the ground and the sky. Okay, maybe I can just put the sky on the upper side only to show more of a landscape. So I would take a color here, so this should be something like that. Okay, so I'll take a brush which is going to be a soft brush, so I reduce the hardness and reduce the opacity here. So I can reduce the opacity percentage by entering some keys, like I press 3 on the keyboard, it becomes 30%. So I'm going to make it more darker and then bluish, and then make the brush bigger and then start painting on the top like that, so that looks more darker on the top side. And then I'm going to take this color slightly onto the warm side and then make it light and then start painting it. I keep the percentage to 50, so that becomes more warm. You can be more warm here by picking this color and then put a percentage of 20, and then that becomes more warm here. So I just created a sky layer quickly. Okay, I'll take another layer. Okay, and then this is a soft brush, and I'm going to take a color which is sort of almost close to this. Okay, and this is a partially hard brush, and then I'm going to edit this brush here. Okay, so I'll open the brush palette there, and I'm going to use the size jitter. Okay, and then I'm going to slightly add a roundness jitter and also slightly scatter this, nothing more than, and then go to the color dynamics and then just add a brightness and saturation jitter and very less hue jitter. So I'm putting a 2% of hue, 5% of brightness jitter, and also I'll just give some opacity and flow jitter also. So I use this all settings, and then just make sure that your brush is 100% and take a small brush and then just try to paint something like this. And once you have done, see how the result is coming here. So I'm going to put this hue percentage, all that into very less. So I just take a 2%, okay, of all these three things, and then just paint it, and you should able to see very quickly I got the clouds there. Okay, and make sure that you are adding this into a layer. Okay, you can play with different brush sizes and then make it look more organic. Okay, sometimes smaller brushes do wonder and sometimes bigger brushes do wonder. Okay, so explore all that and see how nicely we are getting the details of the clouds. Okay, so once I've got that, okay, I take the effects and then add a inner shadow. Okay, and then make sure that you got some nice bright color, and blending mode off screen, and then increase the distance there and size, and then you can put the direction to the suitable side. Okay, and then you got that nice outline there. That's a real quick clouds for you. And then you can rasterize this by merging this with an empty layer. So I'm merging that, and then I'm going to put a layer mask on that, and take any normal soft brush with opacity of 50%, and then just mask it out if that looks too strong. Okay, so that's how quickly I created the clouds here. Now what I'm going to do is take a new layer and take the lasso tool. Okay, and preferably you can choose lasso or polygonal lasso, and then draw something like that. Hold shift and then keep drawing more organic shape there. Okay, and then I'm going to minus this area, and it should be quite neat. So I'm going to take nice warm color and then fill that layer like that. Okay, and then maybe you can move it little bit up, or it's okay, you can keep it little bit front also. We can manage to put a layer which is way behind it. So click on lock transparent pixels on, take a brush here. Okay, make sure that you have picked the color, and then what you need to do is you need to make it more warm, and then put the opacity to 30%, and then start giving that nice shade. I just wanted it to be a bit more bright. Okay, you can select this layer. Okay, and then using lasso tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put intersection, and then you get that areas like that, or maybe you can remove that area. Okay, like that, and then you can start exploring the brushes here. Like for example, again you can scatter, and then let's put a slight scatter, increase the hardness, and then start working on all this, and then paint here. Okay, I'm reducing the opacity just to get that organic look on the edges. Okay, so I'm going to invert this. Okay, shift control I, and then take a darker tone, and then increase the scatter value slightly higher, and then just start painting it. It's way big, so I'm reducing the brush size just to get that. This the opacity is too high, so I'm taking the opacity of 5%, and then give that texture to the mountain. So that's a very quick texture what I've created. You can duplicate that layer, and then what you can do is you can put it behind this. Okay, and then what you can really do is you can make it slightly light, and then make it blue. Okay, they should be slightly lighter than in comparison with the front layers. So this layer what I've created, and I can just put one more layer of that and then put it behind, and then you can maybe reduce the opacity just to create the sense of depth, and make sure that they are very far from the front layers. So that's a quick background of mountains, and then sky and clouds. So I've got everything intact, so I'm going to take a new brush, new layer, and then in this I'm going to take this leaves. I'm not going to use anything outside of Photoshop. I just rely on what's there here. So I'm going to take a small leaf, and again I'm going to take this range of colors, and then take I just want to give the sense of depth, so this color I'm taking here, and then slightly a different hue, and then what I'm going to do is in color dynamics I'm going to use foreground background jitter, and then 2% of variation in the colors, and then scatter very closely. Okay, so this is the brush, and then I'm going to put the opacity to 100%. Make sure that it's a new layer, and this is looking too dark actually, so I'm going to make it light. Okay, and then I'm going to paint it there like that, so which is going to be on the edges. Okay, so I just try to give a jaggy edges. Okay, so that's one layer I've got. Now let me start going to more saturation and more towards the green tone. Okay, more saturation and more green tone, and then this time let me take a even you can take a new layer and then increase the brush here, and then let me take this to a darker color so that you could able to see that nice texture. It's too dark, and now this is the second layer what I'm painting here. Okay, so make sure that you are filling the gaps correctly. If not, it may look very odd. Okay, that's the second layer. Okay, now I'll go for more saturation. Same techniques I'm using here, putting a new layer, and then go for a bigger brush. I'm just giving that nice variation that gives that volumes. Keeping layers is always good. Then take a new layer, and then take a bigger brush. So every time when you're going for a big brush and more saturation, it is giving a sense of depth here, okay, and freshness as it comes closer. The farthest objects basically look more pale because of the air and atmosphere in the space, okay. Okay, now what we do is to give that nice framing, I'm going to take a new layer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a darker color, okay, very dark, like that, and then just give a foreground framing there, as if you are seeing it from a top of hill, and it's maybe at this level, okay. And then I'm going to put another layer which is going to be more let me try changing the tone. Okay, okay, that's the frame what I have got. Now I'll take a new layer, and I'm going to take a new brush there, and I'm going to use this brush, and then just add a couple of birds to give that sense of life in the space, okay. What you can still make is add some sunlight and all that stuff, and that should make up a good layer. So here in the background I'm going to pick some color and then fill that color so that white spots don't show up, and you're saying that density of air across the depth, and you can show that depth just by scale and the color, and you get a beautiful landscape painting. Hope you liked it.